Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
The World Wrestling Federation. For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, pal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never, ever end.
Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what do we do? There's a 1. There's a 2. Oh,
wow. Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
Welcome, everyone. 3 Count Thursday. We are live here on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our YouTube channel. We are glad to be with you. If you're following along with us on the live video, give it a like, give it a share. We'd appreciate that. And we are still the podcast of the millennium. Gotta flip my sheet over here. It is November 12th. We got tons to talk about this week, including Tony's Con, a Legend's Goodbye, and his Mania changing. But first, make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. Follow all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, no Tim with us this week. Our Patreon at patreon.com/3countthursday. Our home network, of course, is NGSC Sports. At ngscsports.com. We stream daily at Leap Sports. Ryan, that would be? Ryan, you're muted, guy.
Why the fuck would you mute me again? I unmuted myself. What a maneuver!
Well, that's what you get for unmuting yourself.
This is horseshit. LEEIBsports.com.
They tried to do the right thing and unmute you, but you had already done that. And
I don't like to be muted.
Well, I'm sorry. I did not mean to mute you. I did not do it on purpose. I promised you that.
You do it every week. You did.
Well, I mean, I only do it when you deserve it every week. All right, let's go around the room. Matt,
How you doing?
Doing well. Happy to be here. Election's apparently still not over. Who knows anymore? We were talking about it last week. It's ongoing, but hey, here we are. Good wrestling this week. I enjoyed a lot of it. I'm ready for the weekend.
Very good. Intern Mark.
How you doing?
Hi, boys. I'm doing real good. I mean, real good. Real good. You know what tomorrow is?
Friday?
Green Dragon Day.
It's Friday the 13th.
I think Mark's on a little bit of a delay.
And it's the opening day for Hershey Park Christmas Candy Lane.
It is the opening day of Hershey Park Christmas Candy Lane. That is very exciting. Very exciting for you, Mark. Scotty likes my shirt. He says we're still better than Bruce Pritchard. I'm not totally sold on that, but I appreciate the compliment. What's going on, Devin? If you're following along, give us a like and a share. We'd appreciate that. Ryan,
how you doing?
I'm just great. Couldn't be better.
Good.
I have been watching the sweepstakes, if you will, to see who will replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy. You can follow along. You can place bets at betonline.ag. The best odds right now, obviously, are Ken Jennings. Some of the odds get increasingly crazy. LeVar Burton's on there. Laura Coates. Some long shots include Anderson Cooper and Buzzy Cohen. I don't remember that. You remember that name from playing Cohen? Jeopardy? Buzzy Cohen. Yeah, you think he was one of the presidential guys, but it's not. Neil deGrasse Tyson shows up on the list. Pat Sajak, Tom Bergeron would show up on the list. Not a fan.
God, no.
And Donald Trump has the highest odds at 100,000 to 1. But hey, he's looking for a job, right?
Well, hopefully. I think now I was a little nervous because I know like everybody's theory is that it should be Ken Jennings. Monday night, I think it was, there was a category where he had, it was like, you know, where they go to like video guests sometimes that will read the clue. And he read the clue for this one category. I thought he actually did a really good job. So, because like that was my only real concern, like behind Ken Jennings is like, is he really a good fit? Like entertainment wise, like character wise, because it's not just reading. But I think he could be okay. But we'll.
I feel like if you want entertainment wise, you need to go with Donald Trump. What is a peaceful power of transfer? It's gonna be great. You got to go with Donald Trump. Rogan. I think Rogan's on the list. That's a fun one. Christ. Dan Patrick made the list. Jim, you're a Dan Patrick fan.
Well, he did Sports Jeopardy. Jeopardy. He was, and I think he did a really good job. I don't know that he would be a great Jeopardy host, though.
And lastly, Will Ferrell with Will Ferrell made the list.
I would take
100 to 1 odds for Will Ferrell.
I would prefer that over Trump. That's for sure. Scotty says, "How about Joe Buck hosting?" I think Joe Buck's a little busy. He might be a little busy to jump into the Jeopardy ring.
I would never watch Jeopardy again.
I'm sure there's sports fans that actually would probably like that because it would probably keep them away from the sports booth. But otherwise, I don't think that is going to be the case. Let's get into it though, guys, and go to our weekly segment. Only one birthday today on November the 12th. The Disco Inferno was born in 1968. And we got a few events, a few things that have happened. We're going to go all the way back to 1965. Maurice Mad Dog Vachon defeats the Crusher in Denver, Colorado to win the AWA World Heavyweight title for the 4th time. In 1966, Dick the Bruiser defeats Mad Dog Vachon for the AWA World Heavyweight title in Omaha, Nebraska. Exactly, 1 year after Vachon won it from Bruiser's tag team partner, the Crusher. 2001, Matt and Jeff Hardy defeat Booker T and Test for the WWF World Tag Team title in Boston, Massachusetts to start their 5th WWF Tag Team title reign. It would be over 5 years before the Hardys would win a tag title together again. And on the same show, Edge defeated Kurt Angle for the WCW United States title. Edge would be the last U.S. champion until WWE revived the title in 2003. In 2006, during the first set of Wrestling Society X tapings in Los Angeles, California, Vampiro defeats Sean Waltman to become the first Wrestling Society X champion. I know, Ryan, you were a Wrestling Society X guy. Honest to God, I really don't remember Wrestling Society X at all. I'll say that you got to have a
love
VHS.
It, absolutely.
There it is. Look at that, the foil print and everything. Beauty.
The foil print beaut. What a beaut.
Beautiful. And then in 2008, WWE stock dropped to $12.43 a share at closing. The lowest stock had dipped in a year's time. The stock had dropped since the company's third quarter earnings release showed a 37% slide in net income, and in recent days, it had dropped dangerously close to matching the previous low of $12.50 per share. Just for reference, today, and I looked at it around 2 o'clock, it was around $40 per share. The highest point in the last year, it was at $66.40 per share. So, 12 years later, doing a little better than it was back in 2008. But those are the things that occurred
On this day.
November the 12th in pro wrestling history. So let's jump in here. And again, if you're following along, interact with us. We appreciate it, and give the video a like and a share. Get as many people in here as possible, no matter where you are watching. We have a hello from Nevada. Hello from Nevada. Oh, is this Scotty says this wasn't on my my research site, but this 2 years ago in 2018 was when Nia Jax broke Becky Lynch's nose, and we got the classic images, the classic GIFs, and of course changed the landscape of Survivor Series and all of that moving forward. So let's talk a little bit about last night, the Wednesday Night Wars, more specifically about AEW. And I will preface this because I know, Matt, I saw your eyes roll when I gave the taglines at the top of the show. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this AEW Dynamite. There was actually very little that I found critique worthy. But the big elephant in the room was because of Tony Khan's tweet yesterday. And if you didn't see the tweet yesterday, it said, tonight we have a great lineup for AEW Dynamite live on TNT. For the rest of 2020, we will keep delivering great matches on Wednesday night. Plus, there are massive surprises ahead. Please join us on TNT tonight. The balance of power in wrestling will shift tonight. That's what he said yesterday. The balance of power in wrestling will shift tonight. So looking at the scope of the show, there was two things that I would say are most noteworthy. One is that Shaq is announced that I guess he and Cody are going to be in a feud. Is kind of the feeling I got. And then at the close of the show, Pac returned. Those are the two biggest surprise things. Exciting, fine. It's actually great that Pac is back from the travel restrictions and everything due to the pandemic. It was either of those things, or maybe there was something else on this show that shifted the power in pro wrestling. Is there something I missed?
I didn't see it coming.
Last night's show would have been better if X-Pac made his return. That is a bigger shift in power than Pac returning.
And I'm not shitting on Pac. Like he is a great wrestler. I think he probably fits better into AEW than he did in WWE. But I just don't. And Scotty brings up a good point. He did a video last week, so this wasn't even the first time we heard from him. Like you figure if the guy's going to drop a promo, that it's not going to be too far out that he's probably making a return. You're not going to bring him back into the forefront of your Wednesday night program if he's not far from returning. Like it just would seem a little silly to me. But
So what you're saying, Jim, is a wrestling company using a tagline that they didn't live up to, and the payoff being a wrestler who's already in the company returning to the company is not shocking. I would agree with that.
That's fair.
I don't know what I don't know what you're getting at, Matt. Is there a?
I'm saying I didn't think it was worthy of the tagline yesterday either. It was
Okay.
very underwhelming. 100% underwhelming.
I will.
However, that's on brand for me.
Well, that's true.
So what I'm curious here is why the Reigns one hit more for you than Pac returning.
I think just because, I mean, the tagline on the pay-per-view, didn't see it coming. It wasn't
or you'll never see it coming.
You'll never see it coming. It wasn't a situation where they said, you know, not the WWE is going to shift power, but the shift the balance of power implies that, you know, that there's going to be something
big.
Major.
Sure. So similar to like, you'll never see this coming implies that it's going to be a totally shocking moment.
Yeah.
Why would you even try to justify any? They just didn't need said.
Right. Neither time needed the tagline.
Just
I'm fine with that.
Don't say it. Don't put the tagline on the poster and be done.
Both times I was very underwhelmed. I mean, the Ryback rumor, Scotty, I think alluded to that as well. That's kind of what we had discussed. That would have been underwhelming as well to me.
Yeah.
So you really set yourself up for failure when you do stuff like this. And since AEW had WWE doing this just a few short weeks ago, like they should have seen, like, if we're going to do something like this, we really need to shift the balance of power. So having a person on your roster just return from injury is not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the Reigns thing hit a little bit differently because, you know, the reason given that he was gone was because of the pandemic and the fact that he is, you know, somewhat compromised health and things like that. And obviously, pandemic not over. Like, was it the most shocking thing in the entire world? No, but like, I also didn't really expect it to happen. Like, I know that there were some rumblings. People thought, you know, maybe Reigns is going to come back since the Thunderdome, but I didn't 100% expect it. Whereas, and they didn't give us like a Reigns promo the week before, like a, hey, how you doing, buddy? Sort of a thing on Smack.
That's totally fair too. I mean,
yeah.
like
so
if he
to
had
me,
just
it was a
that,
bit more surprising. It wasn't the most monumental surprise by any stretch of the word, but it was.
Did the promo didn't ruin yesterday though? The promo was basically like, "Don't forget, I'm here." It wasn't.
Right.
I'm gonna be here next week.
No,
so don't. I mean, people acting like the promo ruined it. It didn't.
No, I'm not necessarily saying.
I'm
that
not saying you either. I'm just saying people are saying like that.
Yeah, but if you want a week later a shift of power, a major moment when Pac comes out, it is probably going to be a more major moment if we weren't just reminded that he was still a thing a week ago. Like, if he comes out this week and we hadn't kind of just seen him a week ago on a promo, you'd have been like, holy shit, I almost kind of forgot this guy was.
No, I wouldn't have.
AEW. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have to.
I mean, I feel like the company set themselves up for this regardless. Like, we're always going to hear rumors of what's going to happen. Like, things get leaked. I don't know. Like, I wasn't expecting Moxley to come out for AEW when he did. So, like, something like that. So that leads into my question. Like, who could have come out where you would have legitimately been like, wow, that really does shift the balance of power? Like, are there names that are feasible enough that could have debuted last night?
Matt, I don't think there's names that are active wrestlers that would have shifted the balance of power. It would have had to been, and I saw people talking about it, a partnership with like a New Japan. And even in America, I don't know how big a New Japan partnership really is for AEW unless you're a New Japan fan. I don't think your casual sports entertainment fan
was partnered with New Japan.
Ring of Honor did. Yes, they had entire pay-per-views about Global Wars.
Yeah, like, you know,
correct. And they're number 4 right now.
I mean, Scotty says CM Punk, possibly. CM Punk,
sure.
Brock Lesnar, maybe. I know, like when WWE and him were in contract negotiations, I don't think he ever officially re-signed with WWE. I think if Brock Lesnar comes out last night, that's going to be an oh shit moment. With the exception of Brock or Punk, anybody not on WWE's active roster, I don't think is a shift of power moment. I mean, obviously,
I don't think legends outside. I don't think legend. I saw somebody made a Sting is all elite like banner thing. Hogan doesn't do it. I mean, we're gonna bring an old guy in to pop. That's not gonna work.
Sting going to AEW right now is like Hogan in when he went back to TNA.
Correct.
And it's not. I'm not trying to disrespect Sting when I say that, but it's like, what's he going to wrestle? One match, maybe two. He
doesn't care.
He really going to do? Like to me, that's not a move the needle, moment. Like, I mean, obviously, if a AJ Styles or Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns like just bails on the WWE and shows up, that's a oh shit kind of moment. I mean, Scotty's right on this one though. He said Tony's job is to get us to watch, sell us on the product. He's not responsible for expectations made by fans. He's a promoter. So, I mean, that's a great point. Like, I don't necessarily fault him for promoting. However, like, if you do this enough time, and I'm not saying this is going to be an ongoing issue with them, or like you're gonna have these kind of womp moments regularly, but ask Dixie Carter about setting up a major situation, and then it doesn't.
Everybody knows Dixie Carter. Everybody knows Dixie Carter.
It just, and again, no disrespect to Pac or to Shaq, I guess at that. But I don't think either of them in the year 2020 is moving the needle, shifting the power. Like, does Pac, is it a big deal in AEW? Sure. I think Pac is a relatively big deal returning to action in AEW, because I mean he had matches with Omega and stuff, so he's kind of right there in with all the big names in AEW. So that aspect, I guess, is a big deal. I will say this, because I don't want to. I'm not just shitting on AEW. Last night was the most I have ever cared about Brandy Rhodes. Like this,
dude.
Tonight was open mic night, bitch. Your dizzy ass up here looking real confused, so let me spell this out for you. You up in my house, smacking your gums at my man, and now you my problem. I'ma make this real easy for you. Don't you ever talk to him like that again. Don't you even look at him. And you know what else you can do? You can take your ratchet, trifling ass right up off my stage and do not come back unless I send for you. Do you understand me, heifer? Ooh, yes. Good, great, cool. Bitch, get your ass out of here. We are smoking.
Like, I mean, I love that. The earlier part of the segment with her and Cody was missing big time. That got my attention right back into it. Scotty said he didn't like that segment at all. The interaction with and I forget her name, but with her and Cody was awkward. You could tell. I think she was a bit nervous, I would say. But then when Brandy hit, it was it definitely went back in the right direction. That was I did love the way that segment came around. Jade, by the way.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the pre-show. You had said that you signed on to AEW Heels because of that, right? You signed right up.
Yeah, right away.
Right away. Got right on that.
But like, In a weird way, like I was thinking about it from like two sides though, because like on one side makes Brandy look awesome, like on another side, does it like demasculate Cody a bit? Like Brandy's got to come out and fight his battles. I could be looking way too much into that as well.
James, it's 2020. You gotta look past that. We're breaking gender roles here in AEW.
That's true. Scotty says he feels like he was watching Jerry Springer. Well, Jerry Lynn came out, so we did get Jerry. But yeah, no. Otherwise, like I enjoyed the rest of the show. The bunkhouse match was a lot of fun, very bloody. I saw somebody comment on this, and I tended to agree a little bit. Now, in terms of last night's match, you draw back to the NWA days. Like that's a match where you expect blood, you expect color. But does AEW go to the blood well too much to where it isn't as quote unquote impactful anymore? No,
I don't think so. I think it's an athletic competition. Skin is only so thick. I think it's, on the flip side, unrealistic sometimes in the WWE to have some matches not have color. I think a bunkhouse match should absolutely have color. Any sort of foreign object, I'm not opposed to, a foreign object to the head area bringing color out. So, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. WWE should go to that well more than they do, because I don't think they ever do it intentionally anymore.
I feel like that's kind of
hardwired.
where we're at with that. Like we see it so rarely in WWE. Like, is it really that often in AEW, or is it just kind of like a normal amount, and we're just not used to seeing that on TV as much?
Well, it's in every Cody Rhodes match.
Well, I mean, Cody's always
I think what you have to do is you have to kind of reverse think this and ask yourself, why was there a bunkhouse match, like a gimmick big match on a TV show? If this is on a pay-per-view, nobody bats an eye at it.
That's true. Well, I mean, I guess
I feel like that's a match you should pay for, right? You feud, you get to the big payoff match, and you have to buy that at a pay-per-view. That's how I feel like booking should work.
Yeah, it did. I didn't really understand why it was on TV. Like I don't have a problem necessarily with bigger matches being on TV either. Like I think WWE should do more title matches, and when I say title match, I mean Universal title and WWE title matches on Raw or SmackDown. You shouldn't do them all the time, but every so often it should happen, and I think titles should change hands on TV as well. But again, with WWE, you have, WWE has a pay-per-view every month. When AEW only has 4 pay-per-view views a year, sometimes I think it is appropriate to have these gimmick matches, these bigger matches on regular TV. However, 3 days after a pay-per-view probably ain't it. Save that for a special Thanksgiving Eve episode, or save that for, a big Wednesday in the month of December, sort of a thing. But Mark, you're a bit older than us, so do you remember some more of the bunkhouse matches from before? Because this isn't a match that I've generally seen before.
WCW, was pretty much, I think, the only organization I can think of that did bunkhouse matches. I mean, the NWA too, but they're typically almost always on a pay-per-view. As to kind of end the feud type thing, come as you are, wear whatever you want kind of thing. And there was the bull ropes like we saw, and the cowbells, and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty much like a Dusty Rhodes type match for sure. But I really enjoyed that last night.
Yeah, and I liked Dustin and even QT Marshall using the Dusty Rhodes style attire, like the old school, like like the muscle shirt, the jeans, the boots. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. I think we're having a little issues with Mark on a delay, but I'm fine with that style match being on a weekly TV show, but maybe time it out, not immediately following a pay-per-view, because I feel like that's something that maybe should have just been on Full Gear. Or did they meet their gimmick match quota on Full Gear as it was? But otherwise, no, I did enjoy Dynamite as a whole. I didn't order and didn't watch Full Gear. So that's why we're not doing any sort of a Full Gear review tonight. I am really happy though that they put the TNT title on Darby Allin. I think it feels weird to say it's overdue for him to have a title, because AEW is only a little over a year old, but I love the fact that he is now the TNT champion. Oh no, I feel like Ryan might be on a delay now as well. This isn't good. You still with us, Ryan?
You guys hear me? I was having a lot of audio and video difficulties, but I think everything's good now.
I think we're good. Ryan's talking, but I can't hear. Oh no, we're
falling apart without Tim.
We are falling apart without Tim. This is all Tim's fault. So for as bad as this show is going to be, Ryan, you were muted. Since your mic isn't connected. What the hell are you doing with yourself, Ryan?
What is going on?
Ryan, what did you do?
I'm still muted.
Well, I know. I'm clicking on mute and it says you can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected.
Oh my God.
Did you disconnect your mic, Ryan?
Ryan, do you want me to speak for you?
I see you, Ryan. Yes, but I can't hear you. Your mic, can you hear me?
I don't think he can hear you either.
Yeah, he might not be able to.
Gone.
No,
we
he's
lost
gone.
him. I think Ryan was saying he was hungry. He wanted some animal crackers.
He was. If you want to check out the Patreon when you could actually hear all of us, he was eating the iced animal crackers with the with the icing on them, which are delicious, by the way.
Did you have Dairy Queen had the blizzards with the iced animal cracker?
No,
like the flavor. So like broken up pieces of the iced animal crackers in their blizzards, and it was the best thing.
I would bet. Was this recently they had this?
Yeah, maybe like over the summer.
Oh
my gosh.
Man, I missed out on that one. That would have been great.
I mean, it probably did well enough that it will return next summer. But I mean, it was like a life-changing blizzard.
Yeah,
it's sometimes when you get the blizzards with like the stuff in it, it's kind of overkill. But this was just like the perfect amount of like ice cream to cookie ratio. It was just flawless.
Yeah. I feel like Dairy Queen does a really good job with the blizzard mixes. Like I feel like they are usually pretty solid on that. So Ryan dropped out. Hopefully we can try getting him back. But all right, let's if either of you have any other thoughts from the Wednesday Night Wars last night. I think we're going to try to get Ryan back here. Let's try. Hi, Ryan.
It's not going to fucking work.
It's working. I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Fucking bullshit.
I'm sorry.
I heard all fucking time.
Blame Tim. This is all Tim's fault because he's supposed to be our
bullshit.
He's our overlay guy. Maybe
Fucking muting me, unmuting me. It's horse shit.
Ryan, I never muted you. Somehow your mic got disconnected, guy. Like it wouldn't let me unmute you. Like right now, I'm going to
Did
mute
my fucking
you.
mic off my phone?
See, there I muted you. Now I just unmuted you. See, so now I can hear you again. See, I did that, and it worked. Whatever happened before, that was on you. That was you.
I mean, I feel like we can still use Zoom without Tim, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we have the overlay. I can't do the overlay on Zoom.
I feel like we can. I feel like
no, I can't because it's a program Tim has. I'll have to get Tim to show me how to do it. So if he's ever not here, we can do it from my computer. How about that?
Ron, are you chewing on bottle caps? I can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'd be in a much better mood if we had fucking bottle caps.
I did have some Mr. Good bars in the past week. I'm happy about. Why are you saying ew like it's a bad candy bar? Like I don't think it's a bad bar. Like I feel like
they're good.
It's not a crunch, Matt. Jesus Christ.
That was my 5th round pick, not my first. That was my throwaway pick.
That's a fair point.
But are you saying Mr. Goodbar is not good? Like I feel like take away that it was my first pick.
If you're laying a bowl of candy in front of me, Mr. Goodbar is probably not in like the first 5 or 6 pieces of candy that I'm reaching for.
Man, it's one of the first that I'm reaching for. I love that.
Yeah,
it's chocolate peanuts, delicious.
If I had a
boring.
If I had a bag of those Hershey miniatures, I'd eat the Mr. Good bars first.
Well,
the
of course.
Dark would be the last.
Well, no, the Special Dark is probably second behind the Mr. Good bar. But like, if you're eating the Hershey bars, like there's nothing in there that's like exciting. And anyway, like I'm at my grandma's house if I'm eating those. It doesn't have to
be exciting. Like I mean, like.
I don't know. Ask the guy that took the whatchamacallit first overall. He clearly likes a lot of variety in his candy.
Like, I mean, now see when I do it, I eat most of the crackles first because they're garbage, and I work my way to the Mr. Good bar.
Okay, that's true.
You start bad and good. Like if you eat all the Mr. Good bars, then you're already you might as well throw the bag out.
How about the?
So do you like crackle bars?
What's that?
Do you like crackle bars?
I mean, they're okay. I would never seek out the chocolate with the crispy rice. I will never like that is something I will absolutely never seek out. Now it is in the mixed bag of miniatures, so I will eat them. I'm fat. Clearly, I will eat them if they're there, but I will never seek them out.
Do they even still make a full-size crackle bar? I don't remember seeing one in I don't know how long.
I hope not. I don't think anybody's eating that.
That's gross.
I don't even know that they still make full-size Wonka bars.
They might not. They might not make full-size Wonka bar. Did they ever? Is that something that ever actually we know that's in existence?
Yeah, they. I remember one year I got the kids Wonka bars for Christmas in their stockings. They, I think it's when that Johnny Depp was in that movie.
Did you buy it at FYE?
What was it, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Like it was just a gimmick bar. It was like the WWE chocolate bar.
Yeah, I did get it FYE actually. There's
that makes more
there's
sense.
a new candy store down here, right down the street from me. I hope they have them when they open. They're going to open in a few weeks. If they have them, I'll get each of you guys one for Christmas.
They won't.
They won't.
I think they will.
All right,
bar for you.
let's go to the
3 count question of the week.
And obviously, over the weekend, the unfortunate passing of Jeopardy host.
Hold on. Whoa. Stop right there.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about rating.
I honestly didn't see the rating numbers.
On a fucking delay like crazy, apparently.
It's all right. We'll just roll with it. What were you have the ratings numbers, I assume?
Yeah. 764 764,000 for AEW, 632 632,000 for NXT. So both numbers down pretty big.
Wow. So a big swing and a miss for Tony K, huh? Big swing and a miss.
I mean, he's
and I'll tell you this much: next week, I'm gonna be tuning into NXT first. Again, will.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure that the old trick would work, and I don't know if there was. Well, I mean, the Chicago shows were back.
Fool me one
on NBC, so that I don't know if that drew some live viewers away. There's no sports right now on Wednesday night. So yeah, and like I thought for sure, because like I was gonna watch the Chicago shows as they aired, and I saw the tweet from Tony, and I thought, all right, bro, you hooked me in, man. But
then he failed
yeah,
you.
that was that one swing and a miss on me. Yeah, they still won, so they got more, but I feel like when you put out something like that, I would have thought the number would have been a little bit higher. But this past weekend, the unfortunate passing of Jeopardy host Alex Trebek at 80 years old last year had announced that he had stage 4 colon cancer or pancreatic cancer. Sorry, pancreatic cancer. So obviously he had a guest spot at WrestleMania 7. Here is a clip when he was interviewing Jake the Snake Roberts.
Thank you, Regis. I'm here now in the dressing room with Jake Roberts and Damien. Thank you.
Why are you so nervous, my man?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, snakes do make me nervous. As a matter of fact, Jake, even when we have them as a category on the show, I get a little scared. I'm not too comfortable with them.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Damien's a big fan. He watches your show all the time. In fact, reptiles of the world is his favorite category.
Why is he bending his head
I
like
think he wants to ask you if he can be a contestant. Go ahead, Damien. Ask him.
I'm out of here.
Well, Damien, I guess you'll just have to settle for the home version of Jeopardy, won't you?
Yeah, Alex, a guest at
Regis.
WrestleMania.
I'm here now in the
Playing back again. Back at WrestleMania 7. So kind of, I thought about, is there a way that we can incorporate Alex Trebek and celebrity and anything into our discussion? And so I kind of thought, favorite celebrity guests. We've had celebrity guests at WrestleMania. We've had them over the years, obviously on Monday Night Raw and throughout the history of WWE. So I thought, who is our favorite celebrity guests that WWE has had? So Mark, is there any that come to mind that are among your favorites that WWE's ever had celebrities?
Let's see here. I'd say I liked Regis Philbin because he was a fan. You could tell when you get these celebrity guests in there, you can really tell if they're wrestling fans. And Regis Philbin definitely was. And I tell you, Bob Uecker, when at WrestleMania 3, and I think he was at 4 as well. I really enjoyed that, especially when he was interviewing Andre the Giant, and Andre grabbed him around the neck and shook him. That was some good stuff. But probably Regis Philbin would be my favorite.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against Regis, just because it was a lot of fun. Betty White was a lot of fun as well. I don't like Machine Gun Kelly, but hats off to him taking the pop-up power bomb through the table from Owens. I mean, that's not a lot of celebrities will do that. To steal Ryan's answer, Grumpy Cat was a lot of fun too. I think overall, the one that's going to be my favorite is just Betty White. just because everything she does, I think, is just gold.
How about you, Ryan? Now, you can still say Grumpy Cat if you'd like. Call
Do I telegraph that shit so much? Do I really?
Yeah. Sure.
Am I that predictable? I actually I wrote Angry Cat. I forgot his name was Grumpy Cat, but I did write Angry Cat quickly on my list of celebrities that made such a huge impact that it deserved a question of the week. I also included Kevin Federline, who had a great stint with the WWE and definitely belongs on this list. And who can forget Snooki and her WrestleMania match, for Christ's sakes. Snooki definitely belongs on this list. But in reality, my answer is Pete Rose. It was a great laugh. I think Pete Rose did wonderful things in his celebrity spots. So Pete Rose is my answer.
Pete Rose was the first one that came to my mind, just because he had the recurring spots with Kane. Not necessarily my favorite. A couple other ones I wrote down. I saw some of the responses from people on social media. Bob Uecker from some of the earlier WrestleManias. I loved Bob Barker when he was like a guest host of Monday Night Raw. Another one, Mike Tyson. Like, I know it was a little bit different. He was like the enforcer role in that WrestleMania main event with Austin and Michaels, but I thought that was a great celebrity interaction. Our friend of the show, very nice.
That's sharp.
Very nice. I like that a lot. The Boar is War says toss up between Regis and Bob Uecker. I think friend of the show, Ernest Christian, had Bob Uecker as well. Just a few of the other responses. I saw Cyndi Lauper. Devin had shared a GIF of Donald Trump getting stunned by Steve Austin. So that's a pretty good memory. Todd listed a few. Vanna White, Reba McEntire, Willie Nelson. I think some of these were anthem singers. Mr. T, Gronk. Yeah, don't put Gronk in there. Alice Cooper, Snoop Dogg. He also included Ray Combs. I think Ray Combs was like a guest ring announcer at the Survivor Series in '93. So yeah, I mean, there's been tons of celebrities. But mine, I would probably give the edge to Tyson just because of the impact it had there with the Austin and Michaels match. But it sucks. I know. I think I had seen Tim tweet something about wanting to talk about Alex Trebek. So it's a shame he's not with us on the show tonight to talk about it. But obviously a huge loss in the TV and entertainment world. Any other thoughts, guys, on some of these celebrity guests before we take a break?
Did anybody mention James Douglas as their favorite celebrity?
No, I don't believe anybody did.
That's a shame.
That is a shame. All right, we are going we are going to pause here for a quick commercial break. Stick with us on the other side. We're going to talk a little bit of Undertaker, and then we'll get to our news and rumors. 3 Count Thursday live.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcast on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop. Welcome back, 3 Count Thursday, live here, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And I think we may have lost Ryan again. Not 100% sure, but I think he gone. Maybe he'll be back. I'm not 100% sure. But if not, we will press on without him for the remainder of the night here. This month, obviously, with Survivor Series, it is the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker's debut, and they are booking it as The Undertaker's Final Farewell. This was posted to WWE.com over the weekend. Undertaker's Final Farewell will recognize the Phenom's legendary 30-year career at Survivor Series Sunday, November 22nd at 7 p.m. on the award-winning WWE Network. One of the most iconic superstars in WWE sports entertainment. The Undertaker made his debut at the Survivor Series in November of 1990. Oh, there's Ryan. There we go. From his debut with Brother Love to his critically acclaimed match against AJ Styles at this year's WrestleMania, Undertaker has been involved in some of the most memorable moments in WWE history. As part of his farewell and 30th anniversary, WWE is celebrating 30 years of the Dead Man throughout November. Highlighted this coming Sunday, the Brothers of Destruction, which premiered in October at the Austin Film Festival, will stream on the WWE Network. There'll be an Undertaker, Steve Austin Broken Skull Sessions, the second part, immediately following Survivor Series. WWE reportedly has plans for legends to attend a Survivor Series for The Undertaker's farewell. Some of them are Savio Vega, Kane, and The Godfather are scheduled to appear. So I don't think there's a huge surprise that The Undertaker is kind of finishing up here. I think if you've watched The Last Ride by now, he's basically pretty much announced his retirement there. But I think a question coming out of that documentary was, would there be any sort of an actual retirement? Were we going to see this character in any fashion anymore? Thought maybe a Hall of Fame induction down the road, but the fact that they're recognizing this as a final farewell. Do any of you think that this is not actually the end for The Undertaker? So Ryan does. Ryan, you think this is not actually the end?
Jim, this is the you'll never see it coming.
Perfect. Matt or Mark, do either of you agree with Ryan on this one?
I don't think he's done. I think he has one more live crowd show in him.
Now, do you think that with Survivor Series, they plant the seed for what will eventually be his final match? Like, he's coming out to do his farewell, and there'll be a confrontation of sorts that will lead to that last match.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I could. How about you, Mark? Do you think this is it, or are you with Ryan and Matt? And if I'm being honest, probably myself as well. Still with us, Mark? Can you hear me?
Is he muted? Did you unmute everyone?
No, I forgot to unmute Mark. Here, Mark, are you still with us?
Oh, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you now. That was my fault. I forgot to unmute you. I
Okay.
unmuted everybody else. So are you think this is the end for the Undertaker?
No, the Undertaker will be back. He'll have another match. You know, and honestly, even if they start planting the seeds at Survivor Series and they even wait a year until there's some crowds and live events and whatnot, again, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But I think they'll plant some seeds and begin to build something for maybe one more match, the Undertaker, in front of some live people. When I say live, I mean like in the arena, not necessarily people who are deceased.
Not people that are actually alive. Devin says hell no. So Devin, you don't think? I guess Devin doesn't think this is the end either. Yeah, it's
now, Devin. Let me reiterate. I don't want to see this. I don't need to see this, but I feel like this is absolutely what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's part of me, and again, I'm gonna kind of look through the same glass that I crapped on Tony Khan earlier. Don't keep telling me this is the end. So we did the WrestleMania 34, the gloves and the hat and the jacket and the ring. Then he comes back, and I understand with the surgery, you didn't sure if you were going to be able to come back or not. You get this final run. You do the Boneyard match. You give us the documentary. Tell us at the end of that this is it. And so now you're going to give us a Survivor Series, give us the actual retirement, and I'm fine with that. I'm cool with with doing a retirement, but it's gonna. I don't like it in sports either. I don't like the guy that I'm retired and then he comes back mid-season the next year and then okay, I'm really done. Re-signs with somebody the next season. Like if you want to retire, that's fine. If you don't, just keep going. Like I've said for a long time on this show that the Undertaker's one of those guys that as bad as the matches may be, he's kind of earned the right to go out whenever he wants to go out. Like, do we necessarily want or need to see it? Probably not. See the match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. See the Brothers of Destruction versus DX in Saudi Arabia. But don't keep telling me you're doing this if you're not actually doing this. Like when you actually say you're done, you're retired, there's nothing else to do. Then actually have it be that way. That said, if, and most of us believe that there will actually be another match, who do you think that match will be against? And I'll start again with you, Ryan.
Savio Vega.
Savio Vega. Matt, how about you?
Trying to think of who makes the most sense at this point. I don't even really know. I mean, it's someone that you would have to put over, so maybe like a rising star, like Randy Orton or Shane McMahon again. One of those young guys in the company.
There it was.
All right, Ryan wants it.
Did I hear it? Did I? What?
Shane McMahon!
But in all honesty, I think it would
So
have to
good.
be someone like an Aleister Black. Someone that could really be huge in the company if they had that Undertaker rub. I think he makes the most sense, especially now. Like the Demon Finn Balor a few years ago would have been cool, but at this point, can we say that still? Probably not.
Yeah. I don't think that the demon would have that impact now. I don't think the Fiend should get involved. Devin says the Fiend, but I don't think. Yeah, I think you already ruined that shine at Mania 31. Maybe this would be this would be the redemption shot, Ryan.
This absolute. Why wouldn't it be? And
well,
everybody that the Fiend touches reverts back, right? Like new again. Undertaker's new career wrestling. It is a perfect picture for his against the Undertaker on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. As long as you actually have the Fiend win, which would still be afraid that somehow they will screw that up. Mark, do you have a thought of who it could be or should be?
Well, my first thought was Savio Vega, but Ryan took that. So, actually, the Fiend came to mind, but I don't think he really needs that. So, it'd be really neat to see Adam Cole start a feud with the Taker. I don't think it's going to happen, but a boy can dream.
Pat McAfee, please.
There you go. Well, his first Mania match was against Snuka. Can he?
Okay.
Oh, I guess that match wouldn't work out so well. Maybe you just go against Tamina. Have the career go full circle a little bit on that one. I mean, I would have no issue with it being the Fiend if they actually do it properly. And Ryan, I'm sorry we're keeping you from the season premiere of Total Bellas. I sure hope you're DVRing it. And we can get to that. You can get to that after we're done here. But I like the Aleister Black Matt or if it's I don't know how it would make sense somebody like like a Kevin Owens. Like there's plenty of people that I think could use that Taker rub a bit. But whether or not they make a ton of sense remains to be seen. Also, with the 30 Days of the Undertaker, 30 Days of the Dead Man, they came out with the Mortician documentary. Did anybody else watch that yet?
Yep.
I think a part, Ryan, you had talked about, and so we can talk about it now, is the how I think the Undertaker at first was very much against the feud with Punk incorporating Paul Bearer at the time, but then they all kind of stepped back and was like, no, this is exactly what he would have wanted, and it was a great look into the Undertaker and Paul Bearer and that relationship and all of that. If you haven't watched the documentary, please do. I mean, it is a great. I think it's about an hour long, so it's not a hard watch at all. But it really was a great video. WWE's does a great job with that kind of stuff. I loved it. It's a character that I've always been fascinated with, and he seemed like such a cool dude.
Yeah, I don't think we get the impact of the Undertaker without the Paul Bearer. I love, and I don't know if I've ever heard the story of the name where Paul Bearer came from, but that was talked about on the documentary. And like I said, at the time, was it WrestleMania 29, I believe, with CM Punk. I was in the camp that this is tasteless. I didn't like this very much. So it was nice to hear those involved saying, hey, William Moody would have. Is it William? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill, William.
William,
Bill
Bill
Moody.
Moody. That this is really what he would have wanted, and it's he'd be looking down like, wow, they've incorporated me even after I'm gone, and my character in a storyline revolving at WrestleMania with the Undertaker, with the streak. So I'm so glad they touched on that. I really am.
Well, because I think another part of that is that from what Taker said on the documentary is it wasn't incorporating Bill Moody. It was incorporating the character Paul Bearer.
Right.
And because the beginning of that feud came on the tribute night when I think Punk came out and mess with the urn and stuff like that, and it went from there. So and it wasn't so much that they were going after William Moody, they were going after Paul Bearer, the character. But yeah, like I said, definitely check that out. I'm looking forward to this Brothers of Destruction. This Brothers of Destruction documentary that's coming out on Sunday. The Broken Skull sessions with the Undertaker coming up after Survivor Series as well. And I'm curious to see how exactly and what exactly they do for this final farewell segment on Survivor Series. Is it going to be in the middle? Is it going to be at the start? Is it going to close the show? I think if it closes the show, it's definitely going to lead to something. Like, I don't think you just go off the air with that, just as and maybe you do, because you're honoring one of the biggest characters, arguably the biggest and best character the WWE has ever had. So maybe it does close the show and it is just the retirement, but we'll see. We'll talk about and we'll predict Survivor Series next week. It is a week from Sunday. And I think we're going to try to get Brittany back on as well next week because we are predicting a pay-per-view. So let's finally, guys, let's go here to the news and rumor. Going to be a little bit of a shorter show. It's been a long week, rough week on my end. So we're gonna be a little bit shorter than normal this week. But yesterday, was it yesterday? What day is? It was the 10th. So that was 2 days ago. AEW released a press release. After revolutionizing the wrestling industry, AEW today shared its plans to reimagine the gaming world with the launch of AEW Games. The new venture will initially deliver 3 new gaming options to fans, including 2 mobile games and the highly anticipated console game being developed with renowned video game developer Ukes. The birth of the AEW Games was ushered in with a star-studded keynote event hosted on YouTube, featuring Kenny Omega, who has been at the forefront of AEW's console game, along with Cody Rhodes, Dr. Britt Baker, and Ref Aubrey Edwards. The event also featured introduction of wrestling gaming mastermind and newest AEW Games member Geita Iwashita, best known for his work on the critically acclaimed No Mercy for the 5th generation consoles. 2 mobile games will be available even sooner for fans. AEW Casino Double or Nothing is anticipated to launch this winter, and AEW Elite GM is anticipated to launch later in 2021. Developed by Kama Games, one of the fastest growing independent operators in the world, Double or Nothing will feature AEW branded versions of slots, blackjack, poker, and roulette, along with AEW music, sounds, videos, wrestling, virtual avatars, gift packs, and more. And I didn't see any information about Elite GM on that one. But 2 mobile games, but I think that the biggest one, and there was a trailer. I can't remember if I shared it to our social media or not. But the graphics seem very updated but reminiscent of WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, NWO, WCW versus NWO Revenge. It's definitely in that style. Like, I definitely got that feel to it. Definitely got my attention big time, because when you talk about wrestling games, the history of pro wrestling video games, there's very few that I would say the majority of people look at those games as the best or damn close to the best. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the simpler graphics back then, I think, is what made it more fun. Not that the games these days can't be fun. The upcoming WWE one excluded in that commentary. But I think like going back to the more like gritty, basic feel of the wrestling game will do a lot to like excite wrestling and gaming fans.
Yeah, I still think No Mercy was the greatest wrestling game released. So very excited to see if this is going to be along that line. I'm thrilled to be able to play it. In fact, I might hook up my N64 this weekend just to play some No Mercy.
Was just thinking that. Yep.
Did you
Hell
see
yes.
Did you see the trailer of the AEW game, Ryan?
Yeah. It looks like they took the WCW NWO Revenge Chris Jericho and just blurred out the like the muscle lines for this one. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, they just if you could actually blow air into a video game character, they went and it puffed him up a little bit.
Right. Made him Ryan's side.
But like I'm and as surprising as this, I'm more excited about this AEW game than I've been excited about any WWE game in a very long time, because it takes it back to the best games in wrestling video game history. For me, so that's pretty exciting. Mark, any thoughts on it?
Is Starman going to be in there from the old pro wrestling game from NES?
I didn't see him on the trailer, but I can't confirm or deny at this point.
But I saw the preview for the game. It looks really neat. I'm not a video game kind of person, so I probably won't ever play it, but it did look really good. It had some nostalgic feel to it, if you will. A little nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll look forward to they didn't give a release date or anything like that on this game, so we'll kind of keep our eyes peeled for that one. WrestleMania, I believe today, 138 days, if memory serves, from the post earlier today. But according to reports from the WrestleVotes on Twitter, WWE has had talks about changing the date of WrestleMania 37. Of course, the goal is to have fans at WrestleMania. The idea is moving the event might help them. Of course, with the news this week of a potential vaccine. The current announced date is March the 28th, but they have discussed April 11th and April 18th as potential new dates. Something to keep an eye on. It has been rumored for weeks. WWE is expected to announce officially that Raymond James Stadium in Tampa will be the host of WrestleMania 37, but it is still at this time SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles is the announced location. I'm not necessarily opposed to moving the date. However, I feel like you can only do this once. Because obviously this situation we're currently in, we've been in it for a while. We're still going to be in it for a while. It's a little different than last year when you didn't move the dates. You just made it 2 nights. So I feel like if you're going to do the date change, I feel like you can only kind of do that one time before it just kind of gets a bit ridiculous. Any thoughts on a potential date move for WrestleMania?
Why would they need to move the date? I don't understand that. How is that going to help pushing it back 2 or 3 weeks?
I guess the thought is if the first set of the vaccine is supposed to start theoretically with obviously your healthcare workers, essential personnel, and most at-risk individuals, possibly even as early as December. And then in the early stages of the new year, maybe the first quarter, you're going to start to see it roll out to more of the general population. that I guess the thought is that a majority of people could either could be vaccinated by that point, and you could actually have fans in the building. So if you move the date back a little bit, you have a better chance of having fans. I think the WWE doesn't want to have a second straight no fans WrestleMania. I guess that is the thought and reasoning behind it. However, I don't think moving, personally, this is just me talking, I don't think moving that date 2 or 3 weeks is going to make a lick of difference. Like, I think what you're going to have to look at is maybe doing, like you're going to just have to either make WrestleMania SummerSlam, like just go, you know what, this whole situation is going to suck in the spring still, but summer seems like a more realistic target. So just make like for one year only, WrestleMania and SummerSlam is just kind of this joint party of the summer. You do that and you revive I don't know, Hog Wild or something for March or April. Because I don't think a couple of weeks is going to make a whole lot of difference at this point.
You could have Spring Stampede.
There you go. But yeah, I don't think a week or two is going to make a whole lot of difference when you're talking about the vaccine situation. Like, hopefully, dear God, hopefully by next summer we'll be in a much better situation than we are right now. It's just, yeah, I don't think moving it from March to the second week of April is going to make that difference.
Nope, not at all.
None.
I think it would be a smart move to move it to Florida because they seem like they'd be more willing to have a large group of people together than California at this point. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And then, of course, finally, Ryan, I know we're going to get you over to Total Bellas here in a second. But the Bella twins were recently interviewed by Mario Lopez of Access Hollywood and teased a WWE comeback. Your girl, Brie, said the following about the women's tag team titles. This is what's hard for Nikki and I when we left. All of a sudden, WWE women's tag team titles came, and we're like, that's for the Bella twins. We've been dying to have tag titles. So she and I feel like we have one more run in this. So we really want to go for those titles. Ryan, Matt, Mark, are you guys interested in any way, shape, or form for a Bella's women's tag team title run?
No.
I'd like to clear the air right now and state I've never watched more than a fucking minute of that dreadful Total Bella show.
Ryan, you don't have to lie.
I have
don't lie to
zero
the
interest in
audience,
it. There is nothing. I mean, I have professed my love for the chalky ass candy known as sour or as bottle caps. I have no need to lie about not watching a piece of shit show like Total Bellas or Total Divas for that matter. I have zero interest in that. I absolutely will pop like a motherfucker when the Bella Twins return to WWE programming, though. Put them on Raw. My ass is excited.
Brian will jump out of his chair like a schoolgirl, just freaking out. He's gonna go crazy.
Man.
I hope it happens at a pay-per-view and we can all be together and you can all laugh at my excitement, but I will pop like hell.
Hey, I'll pop like hell, but for the better Bella Nikki. Mark, your thoughts on a possible Bella return?
I'd be okay without it, but you know what's going to happen. Give them a few years yet, maybe, and they're going to come back and win the tag team titles. It's going to happen. Just a question of when.
Yeah, it's definitely when, not if. All right, guys, let's.
If you remember Tim and Marcus's reaction to Edge coming back, it would be something like that. Something like that. I might tear up even.
Jumping up off the couch, stunned silence and tears, I think is what
yes,
what we saw from those two. So but
only for Brie though.
That's all right. I'll That's all right. I'll pop like that for Nikki. That's my girl. All right, guys. Like I said, it's been a long week, and so we're gonna close this thing up early tonight. Matt, we'll start with you. Do you got anything to plug this week?
Nope, not this week. Just follow our social media pages. We'll get more active here as the holiday seasons come up.
Ryan, how about you?
I don't have a lot. Congratulations to Leon Ruff, the new North American champion from NXT. I loved it. I thought it was great. I can't wait to watch next Wednesday and see who he'll be defending the championship against, because AEW has lost my live watch.
Boom. Intern Mark, how about you?
Let's see. Check out the latest episode of Pro Wrestling Empire over on YouTube. We're up to episode 4, I believe it is now. So you can find that PWE Pro Wrestling Empire on YouTube.
Episode 5.
See. Oh, is it 5?
It is 5. Yeah, this week was 5.
Oh my gosh, these episodes.
Yeah, because you guys were a part. You 3 were a part of the first 4. This is the first week where Tim makes his first appearance on commentary.
That's right.
I watched it. It was great. Another great show from the Pro Wrestling Empire.
Very good. We're going on to crown the first, well, not necessarily the first, but a PWE World Champion. So that's exciting.
The new Pro Wrestling Empire champion. Yeah, so make sure you check out Pro Wrestling
Empire. Check it out.
Pro Wrestling Empire on YouTube.
Lots of people, friends of mine who
Mark, I gotta mute you, Mark. You're freezing up like crazy. We'll be back with our regular Zoom next week. Just make sure you subscribe to us on all the podcast feeds. We'll be better next week, I promise. I'm just as guilty of it. This week has been a tough week for me, but we hope everybody is doing well. Make sure you subscribe to our show across all podcast platforms, and make sure you go to our home network, NGSC Sports. You're going to hear from the sponsor of NGSC Sports here in a minute, Arena Eats. Until next week, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin. Recount Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?